Right, hello. Today I'm going to review the ninth Beatles album, The Beatles, better known as the White Album, because it's white. So this album came out in November of '68, which was quite a long time since their previous album, which was Sergeant Pepper, which had come out in June of '67. I think it was the longest gap between Beatles albums, this. But this one came out as a double album. And it was the first and only double Beatles album, and it's also the first double album to ever go to number one. So in the time between this and Pepper, they've been doing a lot. There's obviously the Magical Mystery Tour failed, then went to India for 2 months, was it? And they launched Apple. So this is the first Beatles release on the Apple label. As you can see there, it's now got the Apple on the vinyl rather than the traditional Parlophone label that they had on all their previous ones. I won't get out the other one, it's just the same. I hate getting these back in there. Hit myself in the nose. As with the original, I won't get all of them out, but you get, with George and Ringo's here, Paul and John's are still in there, you get the photos. You also get the poster, but I'm not going to get the poster out because I've seen it probably. It also opens up. I can get the bloody thing open. Nothing much in it other than pictures, the black and white versions, and track listing. Now obviously there's a lot on this, so I can't remember exactly everything track by track, so I'm going to have to sort of hold it like that. So I can do the track listing. But this album went to number one. First album to ever do that. It's a double album. And was Christmas number one in '68. And yeah, a lot of people think this album is a masterpiece, including me, but I also think it's a bit of a mess, and I think that's why it's a masterpiece. This album, it's all over the place. You've got rock and roll on it, you've got Hollywood blues, you've got country and western on it, you've got bloody heavy rock. Pretty much any genre, or any decent genre you can think of is probably on this album, which is why it's a mess. But because there's so much right on it, it's why it's a masterpiece. So anyway, let's try and get through these 30 songs. This will probably be a long video. Right, so the album opens up with Back in the USSR, Lennon-McCartney song, which Paul sings. Classic McCartney song, this. Seen him do it live. Brilliant, brilliant song. Bit of a Beach Boy influence song, with the harmonies from John and George. But yeah, unsurprisingly, it wasn't the most well-received song in Soviet Union, or Russia as it is now. And America didn't really like the song either, as they felt they were supporting the enemy. Anyway, after that we have Dear Prudence, which is a song written about a Lennon-McCartney song, which John sings, but John wrote it in India. Most of this album was written in India. It's about a girl called Prudence. That's the second name. I don't know what the first name was. But there are... Focus. There we go. Please focus. I'll just keep talking. There are pictures of her that exist with her in India. I wish it would stop doing that. Come on. There we go. I'll just keep talking. Right, after that we've got Glass Onion, which of course influenced the Paul is Dead thing, because the walrus was Paul according to this. But I like this song. It makes references to a lot of older Beatles songs. But yeah, quite like it. Then we have the infamous Obla Di Obla Da, which caused a lot of tension in the band. Classed as Paul's granny music. I've seen him do this live. It is granny music, but it's one of them ones you can't really not like this song. It is catchy, and when it's on, you kind of sing along with it. You can't not. After that, we have Wild Honey Pie, which is an instrumental, and wasn't supposed to be on the album. But can this please stop doing this and just focus? I need a better camera. This one's shite. Come on. Wild Honey Pie is an instrumental that if it keeps not focusing, I'll just keep talking because you just won't see my face in this white sleeve. Wild Honey Pie is an instrumental that wasn't supposed to be on the album, but Patty Harrison liked it, I think, or was it Ringo's wife, Maureen? One or the other liked it, so it got thrown on. Then we have the continuing story of Bungalow Bill, Lennon-McCartney song which John sings. It's a bit of a story, this one, and features some vocals from Yoko. It's an alright song, it's a bit of country, this one. But yeah, I quite like it. After that we have While My Guitar Gently Weeps, George's first song that he's wrote on this album. It's a Harrison classic, this song. This is really annoying me now, this thing. What is it doing? If I hold it there instead, maybe. Why has it been like this today? While My Guitar Gently Weeps, it is a classic Harrison song, this, with Eric Clapton featured on lead guitar. Although I prefer the solo acoustic version from the Love album, but nonetheless, this is still a good song. One of George's best. Then we have Happiness is a Warm Gun, probably my favourite song on this album. Lennon McCartney song which John sings. Yeah, it's a good song, really like that one. After that we have Martha My Dear, Lennon McCartney song which Paul sings, written about his dog Martha. I like this song. It sounds quite similar to ELO's Mr. Blue Sky. I know this came out before Mr. Blue Sky, so perhaps Jeff Lynne was influenced by this song, but they do sound similar in terms of not the lyrics but the music. After that we have I'm So Tired, Lennon McCartney song which John sings. Great track, this one. It's the complete opposite really to I'm Only Sleeping, which was 2 years before this, where it's a really dreamy song and, you know, sleeping and having all these great dreams and stuff. This song, he's not able to sleep. He's so tired. And he's cursing Sir Walter Raleigh. After that we have Blackbird, Lennon McCartney song which Paul sings. This is one of the iconic songs of the album, and a McCartney classic. I like the song, but I think it's far from Paul's best, if I'm honest. But it's an alright song. I've seen him do it live. I don't think it's anything special, Blackbird, but it's still a good song. But I don't think it's anything special. But it's considered a classic. Then we have Piggies, a song that George sings, and he wrote it, about the government. George does a lot of songs for the government. Again, like Piggies, good song. After that we have Rocky Raccoon, Lennon McCartney song which Paul sings. Last song I think in the Beatles catalogue where John plays a harmonica. But yeah, I really like Rocky Raccoon. I think it's one of the more interesting songs on side 2 of the album. Then we have Don't Pass Me By, which is the first Beatles song that's ever been on an album which Ringo has wrote. It's his first of the 2 songs on this album. Evidence of this song dates as far back as A Hard Day's Night, when Paul made a little joke in an interview about this song by singing the chorus. But it's not the best song on the album. It's not the best song you'll ever hear, but it's an alright song. After that we have Why Don't We Do It in the Road, Lennon McCartney song which Paul sings. Again, I really like this song. It's a pretty simple song, but I think he sings it really well. He couldn't sing it well. He actually started playing it live, or he played it at Desert Trip last year. But yeah, it's an alright song based on 2 monkeys. Then we have I Will. I prefer this song to Blackbird, if I'm honest. Lennon McCartney song which Paul sings. Just slow, nice little acoustic song, like it. Then we have Julia, Lennon McCartney song which John sings. The only Beatles song that there is in history which just features John on his own. He wrote this about his mother, Julia Lennon. Nice, it is a nice song. Anyway, then we go on to the second thing, the second LP, and side 3, which opens with Birthday, a song which was made up pretty much on the spot, but it's a pretty good song. Paul still plays it occasionally, and it features backing vocals from Yoko and Patty. But yeah, I quite like your Birthday. After that we've got Your Blues. This is Lennon McCartney song which John sings, which of course he also played with the Dirty Mac not long after this came out at the Rock and Roll Circus, with the Rolling Stones' Rock and Roll Circus. But yeah, this one I think was it recorded in a cupboard or something at Abbey Road or something like that. But yeah, I like Your Blues. It's a pretty depressing song, you know, him shouting that he wants to die and all that, but still, fun song. After that we have Mother Nature's Son, a Lennon McCartney song which Paul sings. This song it's never really interested me. It was, on this album, it was a decision to be made between this song and Child of Nature, which was John's. They were both inspired by the same thing in India. And it was this one that made the album, and Child of Nature eventually came out on Imagine and Jealous Guy. It was reworked into Jealous Guy, but I think Child of Nature is a better song than Mother Nature's Son, but still, I don't see why they're both going to be on the album, to be honest. Better than a certain song that's still to come, if you can call it a song. After that we've got Everybody's Got Something to Hide Except for Me and My Monkey. John wrote this for the Maharishi, based on a lecture or something, was it? your inside is out when your outside is in, all that stuff. But yeah, it's an alright song. Not the best song in the world, but still, it's an alright song. After that, we've got Sexy Sadie. This song is an attack at the Maharishi after John found out that he had apparently been doing inappropriate things, shall we say. I don't think it was true, but yeah, John thought it was, because it wasn't originally called Sexy Sadie, it was called Maharishi. But George influenced, was it influenced that word? Yeah, or persuaded, that's the word I want, John to change it. But yeah, I like Sexy Sadie, and I really like the backing vocals on it from Paul and George. Then we have got Helter Skelter, what is considered the first heavy metal song ever. It was originally a slow 27-minute long acoustic song, this, but who was it? The Who came out with saying something like, oh, they were going to make the dirtiest song ever, and Paul was really excited by this, and it came out and he was a bit underwhelmed. So he decided that they'd have a go, and this is what they came out with, Helter Skelter. Then we've got Long, 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 George's third song on the album that he sings. I'm a big fan of Long, Long, Long. I think it's about God and all that stuff, and George exploring the concept of God. Yeah, I quite like it. Anyway, then we have Revolution 1, which was the original Revolution. I should have mentioned that just before this came out, Revolution and Hey Jude got released as a single. But Revolution 1 was the original Revolution, a slow acoustic song, which I actually prefer this to the regular Revolution, to be honest. I think this one gets the point across better. But I agree, it probably wasn't good enough to be a single, it's too slow. But yeah, I like Revolution 1. Then we've got Honey Pie, a bit of Hollywood blues. Paul sings this. Not much to say about it other than I quite like it. It starts off pretty slow, then it picks up. Good song. Then we have got Savoy Truffle, a song, George's last song on the album that he wrote, about Eric Clapton's apparent chocolate addiction. So he wrote this song for him. But yeah, I like this song. Then after that we have Cry Baby Cry, one of my favourite songs in this album, Lennon McCartney song, John sings it. I always consider this the closing track. I never listened to this album after this song, so for me this is always the closing track of the album. But yeah, I like Cry Baby Cry. Of course, that's the hidden song at the end, Paul's Can You Take Me Back, which is a little thing that Paul had got at the end of it. But yeah, good song, Cry Baby Cry. After that, Revolution 9. What is it to say about this? It's not... I'm not going to sit here and slag it off, but it's not my cup of tea. I don't like avant-garde stuff. And then after that we've got Good Night, which is the closing track of the album, and side 4, which Ringo sings, Lennon McCartney song, which John wrote for Julian. Again, I just find it boring, to be honest. It's not my cup of tea, which is why I never listen to these two songs, if you can call Revolution 9 a song. But Cry Baby Cry is the last song of the album for me personally. But yeah, other than them two songs at the end, I think this is a pretty strong album. It is a mess and it is all over the place, but it is, in my opinion, a masterpiece of an album, really. And yeah, considering what they were going through at the time, it was starting to get quite tense. I think they got a good album here. I didn't actually used to like this album, but I do now. But yeah, I'll give it a 10 out of 10. I should have explained the cover actually why it's white. It's to be the complete opposite to Pepper, which was this big psychedelic sort of picture with all the historical pictures behind them. But how can you possibly top it? With a white background. And it actually does say the Beatles there, it's engraved in it, but you won't see it on the camera. I know on the CD it's not engraved in it, it's just black writing. But yeah. But anyway, 10 out of 10. Great album. And yeah, I'll see you on the next review. Bye bye.